Hello, everyone. My name is Holly, and during this hour, we will be going over phobias. And phobias are fears. So, what are you frightened of? So, we will talk about different types of fears that people have, whether it is rational fears or irrational fears. Let me show you the material. So first we'll talk about what are you frightened of. So everybody will make a list of different things people are frightened of. Then we will go through a text and read about Susan and what she is frightened of. And then we will write down all the different phobias that are mentioned in the article. Then we will do some comprehension questions, and then we will do some matching and do some other matchings. We will do a role play and then a discussion. And if there's time, we'll go on this vocabulary quiz and do another discussion. So that is the plan for today. And I hope that it is a good time, and I hope that people learn words and phrases from this material. Again, my name is Holly, and I am from Idaho in the USA, where it is midnight here. And I started teaching English in 1994 in South Korea. And then I moved to Finland in 1998, and I stayed there until 2009. I started teaching English online while I was living in Finland, and that allowed me to move back to the States. And I continued teaching English over in the States. I came to Finland. I came to Verbling last September, so I've been with Verbling for about 8 months. And this has been a real pleasure working with people from around the world. So again, this class is about phobias. Phobias are fears. So what are you frightened of? Is it rational or is it irrational? So we will be talking about fears during this hour. And so it should be fairly interesting as we talk about fears. So we'll start out with doing a discussion about answering the question, what are you frightened of? Well, we will read a text about Susan and her fears. And hi, Carlos. Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Very good. So do you have any plans for the weekend?
I'm just planning to go to the movies and see Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about that movie. So
Did you have problems yesterday with your connection?
oh, at the end?
Yes.
At the end of the class? Yeah. Yeah. It just completely stopped on me and I went, ugh. And so it was funny because somebody sent me a message and said we can make a conspiracy theory as to what happened to you the last 3 minutes of class. and my response was, yeah, she got abducted by aliens. So
Yeah. We talked about a little bit, but
and they turned,
you didn't come back, so we
yeah,
left.
yeah. I kind of thought it was 3 minutes left, and I thought, well, I guess it's better not to. So, but thanks for asking. So, yeah. Hi, Heidi. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Yes, nice to see you too. So, what time is it right now in Japan?
No, 3 p.m.
Okay, so good afternoon. So good afternoon and good evening, and now we have to get a good morning in here. Somebody from Europe. So, all right. And so, do you have any plans for the weekend, Heidi?
No, not special.
Nothing special?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Well, thank you for coming. All right.
Do you have plans for the weekend, Kelly?
Yeah, I'm going to teach on verbling. so I scheduled tomorrow. Well, technically today I scheduled my afternoon and my evening for several hours, and then on excuse me on Sunday as well during the afternoon and the evening.
I,
So
I, I was looking the schedule of Berlin. You schedule I think April 18. You schedule like 8 classes on a row.
well, actually not really, but it's because there's other teachers have not scheduled anything, and so it looks like it's only me. But
I, I, wa- I was looking that schedule and say, wow, Holly is so hardworking.
yeah,
Eight classes on a row.
yeah.
That's
I,
tough.
actually, my schedule's going to change, and I won't be teaching at this time anymore. I'm gonna change to be teaching earlier in the day, just because it works out better for me.
Um,
So I'm gonna miss this time though. So
also,
yeah,
yeah, I I I I always use this time to get in Berlin because
yeah,
the only free time that I got.
and not
Occasionally, I get in Berlin earlier, but
uh-huh,
it's not too often.
not too often. Yeah, well, because of your young kids, your kids are asleep now, right?
And no,
No? Oh,
they are
okay.
playing around because they have a free day tomorrow, but Monday they go
Oh,
back to school.
oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. That's because I was thinking, I know my sister goes grocery shopping a lot at night after her kids go to sleep. So, um, because she doesn't have to deal with when I have to take them to the grocery store. So, um, but anyway, let's go ahead and talk about phobias. So, does everybody do you guys know what phobias mean? Heidi, do you know what? Oh,
Something that
Carlos?
you are afraid of.
Yes, it is something you're afraid of. So, and it's usually a phobia is usually it's basically most people have one or two phobias in their life. Um, so let's ask this question. Heidi, what are you frightened of?
I'm agoraphobia.
Oh, really? Okay, so you're a fear of wide open spaces. Wide
No,
open.
no. High place.
Okay, so that's okay. Your fear of heights.
Yeah.
Fear of heights. Okay. Yeah, agoraphobia, it means your fear of wide open spaces, and usually people with agoraphobia stay at home all the time. They never leave.
Another fear is about the partner who talk too much. I'll be
Okay.
quiet.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
I didn't even know
I
that was
can't
possible.
talk to this person.
So fear of
So sometimes
chatterboxes?
I log out from the class.
Excuse me?
So sometimes I log out from the class if I find some talkative the student. He can't
Ah,
stop talking. I
okay.
bored and I'm annoyed and then I log out.
Ah, okay. I knew there's always everybody has their own reasons for doing that. So what I didn't even know that that was a fear, but chatterboxes is what I put. Because a chatterbox is a person that talks and talks and talks, and many times they don't say anything. So, okay, and how about you, Carlos? What are you frightened of?
I'm also afraid of high locations, like
Uh-huh.
very high buildings.
Mm-hmm. Afraid of heights. Okay, and I'm going to put high places as well.
And also I'm afraid like being in a dark rooms.
Oh, okay. You're afraid of the dark. Okay,
Yes.
fear of the dark. Okay. Um, I'm going to change this one. Um, Fear of talkative people. Okay. And I have I've had two phobias in my life. One of them I have actually been able to conquer, and that was a fear of driving. But now I actually enjoy driving. So I didn't really start driving until I was 40, and it's been 5 years now, and I really like it. But and then the other one is one I don't see myself ever being cured of, and that's fear of birds. So any type of bird that comes near me, I get very scared. So, and it's very irrational. So, all right.
I used to have be
Uh-huh.
afraid about fly in a plane.
Oh,
Uh,
really? Okay.
but I think that I overcome that fear.
Okay, so you overcame that as well, just like
Yes.
I overcame fear of driving. Heidi, have you overcome any fears?
Pardon?
Have you overcome any fears? Like, for example, I used to be I was scared of driving so much that I didn't even actually start driving until I was until about 5 years ago.
No,
And
never. No, never. I've overcome from some phobia.
okay, so you have not
It's,
overcome a
it's
phobia.
getting stronger and stronger.
Okay, all right. All right, and excellent. So let's go on. What we are going to do is this text is about phobias. The phobias are the irrational fear of things. So which phobias are mentioned in the article? So we're going to go through and read this article and about Susan and talk about different phobias, and then we will make a list of the phobias that we see. So why don't we start? Heidi, why don't you read the first paragraph?
Mm. On first expression, Susan seemed a little different to anyone else. In her early 30s, with an impressive job in marketing, she had a life that many of us would envy. However, she harbors a secret known only to her family and few close friends. Susan had an almost uncontrollable fear of spiders.
Okay, so we'll put up here spiders.
Hmm.
Spiders. Okay. Carlos, can you read it? Read the next paragraph.
Yes. I know it's irrational, she explained. I realize they are not poisonous, and they aren't about to attack me. But there's something so, well, disgusting about them. It sends, it sends a shiver down my spine. I really can't explain it.
All right. Heidi, can you read the next one?
Susan is not alone in her fear. For as long as mankind has walked on this earth, there have been phobias. Some phobias, such as the fear of the dark or heights, are common. Others, such as the fear of thunderstorms, open spaces, and the number certain and seen by most as simply bizarre. Yet for people who suffer from one of these phobias, it is anything but a joke.
Okay. Carlos.
Treatment for phobia is possible. Confrontation is often the best medicine, although it is one that many would rather not opt for.
Okay. All right. And Heidi.
Susan hadn't thought treatment for her phobia, since she is worried about how colleagues would react if they knew she was having counseling. Instead, she suffered in silence, praying that nothing eight legs appears in the office and give the game away.
Okay. So remember, suffers, and then and this one even though we would say legged, eight-legged, but this
Yeah.
one just for to make it kind of stress the
Eight
whole situation, we
legged.
would say eight-legged. Yeah,
Legged. Yeah.
eight-legged.
Yeah. Four
Okay, you've
legged.
heard that one. Yeah, four-legged, eight-legged,
Mm-hmm.
and in the office and gives the game away. Okay, both of you have actually very, very clear pronunciation. And when you read, you make very few mistakes, and you make few mistakes and even fewer errors. And errors are when you actually do not know you are actually do not know that you're making the mistake, where a mistake is just a slip of the tongue. So, like Heidi knew that she suffers. She knows to read the S. She just didn't do it this time. Um, but anyway, just be encouraged. So the first phobia that we that was mentioned in the article was spiders. What are some other ones? Carlos, can you name one?
Fear of the dark or height.
Okay, dark and heights. Heights. Okay, and then Heidi, can you name one or two?
Thunderstorms.
Hmm.
Open spaces. Number 13.
Number 13. That's one that is kind of interesting. I've never heard of that fear. I've heard of the other ones. The number 13. Have you heard of this one, Carlos?
No,
The number
I have never heard this.
number 13.
It's
Before there
very
was
curious, no?
before there
Yeah.
was a series of movies. A
It
certain
possibly like
Friday.
Friday the
Yeah.
13th. Yeah, and then maybe because at least in our culture, in the English speaking culture, 13 is considered an unlucky number. Where like in China, 6 is that number, so that also might be why. Um,
I'm wondering if she is afraid of the number of what the number represents, because when this person has or have 13 years old,
mhm.
it looks like a very bad year.
Yeah, maybe it was, and that's they just maybe they had a bad year when they were 13, and that's when it started that phobia, you
Uh,
know. So anyway, it's kind of interesting to have that.
or maybe if a woman have a 13 years old daughter, maybe she send her away until she gets her 14.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows?
I'm very curious with this.
But 13, I think 13-year-old daughters should be sent away. So I think mothers will kill them, many of them. So it's interesting though. If you guys think about your phobias, it says she has not sought treatment for phobia. She doesn't want anyone to know about that she's in counseling because of that. So she suffers in silence. And what I remember when I was scared of driving, I kept that quiet, and I didn't tell a lot of people that I was scared of quiet driving. As far as they knew, I just didn't have a car. So that's what I would say. I don't have a car. I can't drive. Can I get a ride? I don't have a car. So, do you guys also, for the fears that you have? Do you suffer in silence, or do you let people know that you're that you are scared of the dark, or that you are scared of heights, or you're not really fond of talking to people?
Mm, when I was around 25,
Mhm.
I I had to do this travel for work reasons. So I told my partner that I have fear to fly,
Uh
and
huh.
he mocked me
Uh huh.
because she at that time she flies a lot,
Uh
but
huh.
it was like my second or third time that I get in a plane.
Uh huh. Yeah.
But I told him, and maybe I told to my mother. I don't remember,
Hmm.
but I didn't suffer in silence.
Okay. Yeah. I I did a little bit with the driving because most people in my country, most people get their license when they're teenagers. And what happened, the reason I was scared of driving was when I was 16 and I was working on getting my driver's license, I turned a corner too fast and I almost hit a little boy on a bike. And
Oh,
at the time, I froze. I completely froze at the wheel. And my brother, who was teaching me, had to actually kind of jump over and take over for me. And he kept telling me, "Holly, hit the brake, hit the brake, hit the brake." And so I didn't actually get back into the driver's seat for about 8 years. And the only ones that actually understood was my brother. And he said, "Holly, I understand. Don't worry about it. I get it." But nobody else did. so so
it's curious because something similar happened to me.
really,
Because yes, my father when he was teaching me driving,
uh-huh,
uh, I was drive I didn't have control of the car, so I was driving too fast, and I drive the car direct to a wall, and
uh-huh.
my father I remember my father screamed me, "Oh, hit the brake, hit the brake!" And I remember that I hit the brake about maybe a meter about the wall.
Wow. And
I,
and and did but you got back in the car, right?
it took me like almost a year to return my classes because
Oh, really?
I, 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 I scare a lot,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah. That's
uh,
for me
but
it took
yeah,
me longer. Yeah. I guess I didn't before that I was thinking that the machine was not as not I didn't realize how powerful it was. And I've
yeah,
always had I now have I have respect for the car now where I didn't before. I was 16 and so forth. So how old were you when this happened to you?
hmm, maybe 16 or 17.
Mhm. Okay.
I was very young.
Mhm. Yeah. And how
And
old how old do you get your driver's license in Mexico?
Mexico, I don't know the word in America is the 21 years old, the adult age.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
here
Well,
in Mexico are
yeah,
yes.
you're 21 when you become an adult, but you're like 15 when you learn to drive.
Here in Mexico, the adult age is 18 years old,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and when you are an adult, you can get your license.
Okay. Yeah, because it's funny in the States, they don't let you drink alcohol until you're 21, but you can vote at 18. You can so you're like an adult at 18, but you cannot drink alcohol until you're 21.
No, here in Mexico is 18. You can
Yeah,
vote, you
everything is
can drink
18.
alcohol, you can do whatever you
Drive.
want.
Yeah. Yeah, in a lot of ways that makes more sense than the American way. So, all right. And
Now I'm 32 years old, and I think that the appropriate age is 21 because I think 18 years is too younger.
too young to drive or too young to
Anything, you are so immature.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think that's probably why. I don't know. It it's interesting because you join the military at 18 but you can't drink alcohol until you're 21. So you can shoot a gun at 18 but not drink alcohol. So yeah, it's kind of a weird thing, but in a lot of ways I agree with you that between 18 and 21 you were so young. So
Yes.
yeah. That's why in many ways still call them teenagers. So,
Yes, yes. When I was 18, I feel like the king of the world. I can do whatever I want.
hmm
But now I look to myself when I was 18, and oh, I was so young. Why why did I do why did I did that or something?
I know I'm still embarrassed about some things that I did when I was a teenager. I'm like, what was I thinking? So, 30 some years later, 25, whatever years later, I'm like, what was going on? You know, I think my head finally screwed on straight when I went abroad when I was 25, and from then on, my life got better. But before 25, my life was just like so weird. so, so
Because I think you didn't know yourself. Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's why. Do you know Dr. Phil?
yes.
He's a popular TV psychologist. He is of the opinion that no one should get married until they're in their 30s. Um,
I'm agree.
do you
I,
agree?
yes, I get married when I was 28
Uh-huh.
or 27. I don't remember.
Okay.
and and I think I I have ready to marry. Uh,
You were ready to
I'm
marry?
sorry, I I I was ready to marry
Uh-huh.
because I almost 30, and I got a good job. I got uh, my house, my car. I got ready to
Uh-huh.
get married. And
Yeah.
some people get married when they are 18 or 20 years old.
Mhm.
You haven't defined your life at that age.
Exactly. You don't know who you are. And I think personally you should wait till at least you're 25 to get married. But a lot of people do get married much earlier. And now the divorce rate is so high, it seems like it doesn't matter when you get married. Most people will divorce. So, how about in Mexico? Is divorce is accepted as widely as it is here in the states?
Nowadays, I think yes. In the past, it was like a taboo,
Uh huh.
but now is more often than in the past.
Mhm.
And talking about phobias, some people have marriage marriage phobia to get married.
Yes, it's true. A fear. We call that in English we say fear of commitment.
Yes.
They have a commitment phobia, um, and
And
which is
I,
interesting.
here in Mexico, it's not common that the couple lives together before they get married.
Yeah,
They live together the moment they get married.
to get married. Yeah, and
I think in the US is common that the couple lives together a couple of years before they get married.
um, I think that depends on where you are in the U.S. and the I think if you're in the urban area, that's probably very correct. But in the rural area, it is not and not as correct. I used to tell people when I lived in Finland that until I moved to Finland, and that was I was 29 years old, I had only met two couples that lived together before they got married. um,
Oh,
and
and,
that but nowadays it's a lot more common. But that was in 1998. So
and here in Mexico is not that common. You get
yeah,
married and you can live with your couple,
uh huh, yeah.
and because of that, the divorce was like a taboo in the past.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I even told I was even telling one of my classes even today about that that so it sounds like the word what is it a stigma.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I was telling them that in some parts of the U.S. and it sounds like in Mexico. But if you do live with your boyfriend before marriage, there might be a stigma on that. But most places it's not. But I was telling them that my mom, if I were to move in with my boyfriend, for example, she would cry for 3 days. You know, because it's just not part of, there's a conservative part of the U.S. that is like Mexico, and then there's the more liberal part of the U.S. as well. So hello, Ake, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. Very good. So, Ake, what are you scared of? We're talking about phobias today. Do you have any irrational
Mhm.
fears?
Spiders.
Spiders. Oh, you're just like
Mhm.
Susan. Susan
Yeah,
in the
yeah, that Susan, yes.
Susan in right here. Susan, she harbors a secret known only to her family and few close friends. She has an uncontrollable fear of spiders. So,
Yeah.
okay.
But I
All
know
right.
the reason.
Why?
Uh, when I was a kid, I saw the movie called Tarantula. In that movie,
Oh.
tarantula got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it attacked humans. I was scared about it.
Oh.
After that, yeah, I began to be afraid of spiders.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, don't, if you ever come to Idaho, don't come to my part of Idaho. We have spiders over here all the time,
Uh,
all over.
and some spiders poisonous, or is it?
Um, I don't know. Let's
Okay.
Google that.
Mhm. Okay.
I I I think there might be. What Carlos? Do you know?
Here in Mexico, there's a kind of tarantula that is poison, but not the tarantula. It's the hair of the tarantula that is poison.
Oh,
Okay,
I
looks like
see.
there's one. There's one type of spider that is poisonous, according to this. My question was, are there poisonous, or I should have put, our spiders poisonous? Let's put that. Are spiders poisonous? And then it comes up with the same thing. So the only one that, according to this, the black widow spider venom is a neurotoxin that can cause headache, dizziness, shortness of breath, and other systemic symptoms. Death is very rare. The brown recluse spider bite is usually painless. So no, it doesn't look like they're all that
Mhm.
dangerous.
Now I remember a case here in my city
Uh
that
huh.
a little boy died because a spider bit him, and that spider was called the violinist spiders.
Huh.
I I, I,
What
I put the link in the Google chat.
what was it called in the Google chat? Let me look.
Is violinist.
Okay. Violinist spider. Oh, and they're found. It looks like they're found in this area. Huh. Ooh. Okay. We're changing subjects. uh, so I hope I didn't scare you. It's okay. It's a virtual thing again. So when I put the pictures up, I went, oh, I hope I'm not scaring Ken. So you're fine with pictures, right?
Actually, I'm watching the text now, so it's okay.
So,
I'm reading text now, yeah.
okay. So I'm actually scared of birds, and um, and people have always asked me, oh, did you watch the movie Birds, the Hitchcock movie? Did you see that movie?
Yes.
I've never seen it in my life, and when people hear how scared I am of birds, they've told me don't watch it. And the
Mhm.
reason I'm scared of birds is because of I was what do you call it? Attacked by a crow when I was 7 years old, and I've been scared of birds ever since. So are there, besides spiders, are you scared of anything else?
Mm, kind of maybe the airplane's okay. The height is okay, but it's narrow. Sitting on the narrow place is not okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
for sitting in narrow places.
Mm,
Yeah, some people are fear of wide open spaces and some narrow
mm,
places. Yeah.
mm.
Uh, all right. So, and then, okay, Carlos is back. Okay. So, according to the article, are these sentences true or false? Let's correct the false ones. And so, Ake, even though you were not here to read the article, you can guess 50%. You're totally fine,
Okay.
but we can have you read the sentences.
Mhm.
So, Carlos, could you read number one?
Yes, Susan has told many people about her fear of spiders. That is false.
That is false. Yeah. Is it false?
She suffered in silence.
Oops. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
She suffered in silence.
correct. She suffered in silence. Yeah, and actually um she suffered in silence, but there's another sentence in the oops. Sorry about that. There's another sentence in the text where it says that she only told family and close friends. So let's see.
Holly, I have a question
Huh?
about a word in the last paragraph, the third word, south.
Okay.
Susan hasn't sought.
Oh, sought. Okay, that is the past tense of to seek. And
Oh,
okay,
okay.
so if you seek treatment, oops, you're looking for other types of treatment. You're looking for treatment or help.
Oh, that's thank you.
So yeah, all right. So that is the answer for that one. And okay, can you read the next one?
Susan, I think a fear of spider is quite natural. I think she feels irrational, so it's
Mm,
not natural, probably.
yeah, have you already read it?
Oh yeah, I read it. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay. Right. So, yeah, she describes it as
Usually,
irrational.
usually phobia means irrational fear, right?
Yes, a phobia.
Okay.
There's fears, but then, like for example, yeah, phobia is an irrational fear, but then you have fears that are just, uh, you know, uh, normal fears that people might have because they hear a noise at night. Oh, you're scared of whatever that is. So, yeah. Carlos, um, can you read the next one?
Susan's back hurts when she sees a spider. They mention something about her spine, but it's like a shiver down her spine.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah, yeah,
she didn't have a hurt in her back.
correct. So, yeah, it sends a shiver down her spine. So, what does a shiver down her spine mean?
Uh, it's like shaking or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
a cool feeling down for her spine.
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, next one. Okay, can you read number 4?
Having a phobia is not a recent phenomenon. I think it's true. It's kind of
Okay.
yeah, mankind has walked on Earth for long as mankind has walked on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No history.
Yeah, that's true. And we everybody has different irrational fears based on their own background and so forth. Exactly. All right, and Carlos, could you read the last one, number 5?
Yes. Medicine is often the best way to deal with these phobias. They mention something about confrontation.
Yeah, that's right. False confrontation is often the best
Confrontation is
medicine.
the best medicine.
Yeah. So, like, when you're, how did you get overcome the fear of flying, Carlos?
Don't looking by the window.
Uh, don't sit by the windows.
Yes, I sat in the aisle. So.
Okay, so you sit in the middle of the plane and you don't look down out of the windows and
Yeah.
so forth. Okay, so that's how you were able to. Um,
No, but I think I get used to it, to getting a plane. I took too many flights that
uh-huh.
I get used to it to the plane. So
All right. Okay. Have you ever overcome any fears? Are you there? Are you there?
Sorry, I forgot unmuting.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, don't you hate that?
at the beginning, I was afraid of being online classes. I didn't know what it is, and I was very nervous in the first class. And teacher says in the end of class, I expect you to speak more in the next class or something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
But
Is
now,
it
yeah.
is that here at Verbling or was it a
I
one-to-one
know
class?
I have a long history of being online class, so
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Was it a
it
one-to-one
was fast.
class?
No, it's a class like this,
It's a group.
open,
Okay.
yeah,
Open
group
group.
class.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Did the teacher call on you though, or did she expect you to just um,
Maybe
volunteer?
teacher called on me, but I just replied a very short comment only.
Ah, oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've done that with students. In fact, I taught this one guy in Finland, and I taught him for 2 years. And I would spend he would have so little to say
Mhm.
that I would take 2 lessons to me to the class, and we would go through both lessons. When most people of the same level would take maybe 3 weeks on those 2 lessons. And so finally I said to him, you have very good English. Um, and the reason your boss wants you to take English class is not because your English is bad. It's just because when you are probably out with clients with him, you say
Mhm.
nothing, you know. And he goes, you're right. you know because and it was social English was what we worked on and stuff like that, but I said I spend more material on you just in one lesson. And after that he started working really hard on talking and actually saying things, and it was like, oh yeah, you're getting it. So because his English was fine, he was just as a personality, he just didn't talk much. And so it made his boss think his English wasn't very good. So, all right. So let's go ahead and match the two halves of these collocations or idioms. These are some sentences. I wouldn't really call all of them collocations, but for example, number 1, Susan is in her 30s, early 30s. That's a sentence. That's not a collocation. So, um, um, but uh, Carlos, can you go ahead and do one of these? I wish I could draw, but I can't. So,
number 2.
or any of them that you see.
Hmm. I remember this one for the reading, but I don't know the meaning. She harbors a secret.
She harbors a secret. Okay. So when it comes to she harbors a secret means that she has she's suffering in silence, and she has a secret that she is not telling anybody. Like what I was telling you earlier, I didn't tell people that I couldn't drive. I told people that I didn't have a car because I was embarrassed to tell people that I was scared of driving.
Okay.
So I just said I
Be-
didn't have a car. So
Because harbors is like a port or something like that.
yeah, that is one thing. It is a port. A harbor is a port, but to harbor also is to hold in. If you hold
Oh,
in hold in to hold a secret. So if you are harboring something, it's kind of an emotional word, basically saying if you are harboring something, you have something in your head or in your heart that you are not telling anybody.
okay.
So you could be harboring bad feelings. Could be harboring regret. You could be harboring, an irrational fear, a phobia that no one knows about. So
Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, Ken, can you try one of these?
Okay, she has an irrational fear of spiders.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to just put 3 right here. So, okay, she has an irrational fear of spiders. So we've got 3 different ways for doing this. Okay, number 4, I guess, Carlos, or any others if you find 4 too difficult.
It sends a shiver uh, down my spine.
Yes, it sends a shiver down my spine. Um, can Carlos, can you think of a time when something sent a shiver down your spine?
Yes, I remember one time when I looked this car accident,
Uh-huh.
and that accident was really bad. So also people die in that accident,
Mhm.
and I saw this accident, and I feel that a shiver down my spine.
Mhm. Yeah, so you felt a shiver go down your spine. Okay. How about
Yeah.
you, Ake? Can you think
Mhm.
of a time when you saw something and it sent a shiver down your spine?
Mhm. And after that, after I watched that movie, my family went to the log cabin in the woods, in a mountain, and I
Mm-hmm.
stayed there. And at night, there's no maybe lights, kind of
Oh
only the lamp,
no.
and
Uh-huh.
it's a bit dark. And I feel something climb up to me, my leg, and I
Uh-huh.
realized it was spiders. I felt like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it sent a shiver down your spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I,
think that is very common when you see a TV show about spider or maybe about scorpions. You feel
uh-huh.
in your leg the spiders and the scorpions.
Yeah. Or say for example, you hear that somebody has lice and all of a sudden you start scratching your head. So
Yes.
it's like yeah, that's kind of funny. What is I thinking? Yeah, sometimes I will see somebody and I'll look at that person and all of a sudden I'll get a shiver down my spine and I know that that person is not somebody I need to be around. So, um, all right, let's go to the next one. Ken, can you try that one?
Okay. She suffers from a phobia.
Yeah, she suffers from a phobia. Everyone suffers from a phobia, I think. Do you think there are people that don't?
Maybe most people have some.
Yeah, I think most people do. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, and number 6, Carlos.
Yes, confrontation is the best medicine.
Perfect. Confrontation is the best medicine. Okay, and
I think this is very true
yeah,
because if you face the problem, you can solve it very fast.
yeah. Like for example, with my driving, I finally decided I needed to get a license, and I remember I got my permit so I could relearn how to drive my car, and I was 40, and my sister walked in my house and she said, "Come on, let's go drive." And I was like, "No, I don't want to." No, you come down drive. I lasted about 2 miles, and I yelled at her the whole time, and then I gave her the keys and made her drive. But after that, I slowly started driving, and now, I took my foreign exchange student across country to Minnesota on a 4-day trip, and 8 days total, because it was uh, because I realized I do like driving, but I had to confront that fear. So, okay, could you read that? Do number 7.
Okay, she suffers in silence.
Yes, she suffers in silence. In silence, yeah. All right, and then Carlos, the next one.
It gives the game away.
Gives the game away. Does everybody know what that means?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, do you have any idea what this could
People
be?
let it go or something.
Yeah, it basically. So, in the in the text, she hasn't told any of her colleagues, right? Let's read it. So instead, she hasn't told her colleagues. So instead, she suffers in silence, praying that nothing eight-legged appears in the office, and gives the game away. So this gives the game away means that it basically tells her secret.
Okay.
Yeah. So it tells her secret. All right. So it looks like we're running out of time. So let's look at these discussion questions. So, okay, do you think it is strange that Susan is afraid of spiders?
For me, it's not a strange feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Carlos? Is it strange that Susan is afraid of spiders?
No, I think that it's a very common phobia.
Mm-hmm.
Too many people have fears of spiders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, so, okay, what advice would you give Susan in dealing with her phobia?
Maybe usually spider also afraid of humans.
Uh-huh.
So maybe don't approach that then, or so maybe such kind of how can I say, it's not the object, it's a kind of creature, and it's also afraid of humans, and because humans are more stronger than spiders in
Mm-hmm.
most cases. So maybe that kind I try to think such way. They
Mm-hmm.
are also afraid of me, and I don't approach them or something like
Yeah. So yeah, spiders are definitely afraid of us because we could kill
that.
them very quickly. Yeah. Um, so, Carlos, what advice would you give Susan in dealing with her phobia?
I think the phobia normally has a cause. They are caused by, I don't know, any situation in the past.
Uh-huh.
And I maybe told Susan that she she have she had to look the the cause of the phobia, and face that situation. Maybe when Susan was a little girl, a
Mhm.
spider climbed her leg,
Mhm.
and talk with Susan about that, and tell her that maybe that was an accident, or something like that.
Mhm. That's true. Okay. All right. Thank you. Um, do you think that Susan should tell people in her office that she's afraid of spiders? What do you think, Ake?
Mm, Maybe because if so, other people can understand what she's afraid of.
So it's say that again.
Mhm.
It
Uh,
shows.
if Susan tell her secret to the other people can
Uh,
understand what is happening on her
mhm.
on her mind.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
even in silence, maybe she might kind of sudden silence or something like that.
Mhm.
If I
They,
understand what that means.
yeah, they might see her freak out one day and not understand why, but if they see the spider, they'll go, "Oh, yeah." So, Carlos, what do you think? Do you think she should tell her colleagues about her fear of spiders?
I think yes, it is better if the people know what you are afraid of, because
Mhm.
otherwise they can freaking out when you scared about something.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
better they know about it.
it's better for them to know about it. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Um, Now, next one. We've already talked about we all have phobias, so let's go to the final question. Do you think that a fear of the dark or heights is irrational? Okay, what do you think?
I think it's rational because in the past, it's actually it's a risky situation being in height and being in the dark,
Uh-huh.
especially when the human living in talking about dark and when the human living in a field or woods,
Mhm.
darkness means attack easily attack to human
Mhm.
or yeah. That's, I think that's the reason why some people are afraid of dark or many people are afraid of dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because you can't see anything, you're kind of out of control.
Mm.
Um, so what do you think, Carlos?
Actually, I'm afraid to hike into dark places.
That's right. You're afraid of both of those, so you definitely don't see them as
but
irrational.
but I have a friend who is a therapist,
Mhm.
and he told me that the human being has two natural things to be afraid of.
Mhm.
It is they're afraid of height in dark places.
Yeah.
The other phobia are are acquired by the human being by any experience.
But yeah. Okay. That totally makes sense because because you can't teach a child to be scared of dark. But but a lot of them are, and you have to leave the light on. And a
That's
lot of
something
people,
natural. So,
yeah, we don't. A lot of us don't like to wake up and not be able to see anything. So
it is true because he told me that you can see that behavior even in animals because you don't look a dog entering in a dark room or climbing a big a mountain or something like that.
uh
They are natural phobias. So
yeah, and the horses. If you look at a horse is going to be scared of heights.
yes,
Yeah, and definitely. All right. Well, look, thank you very much, both of you, for your participation. I hope you got plenty of chances to speak and practice your English. And we'll see you then in another class some other time or later after the next class I'm doing right after this is on reality TV. So if that's interesting to you, come on in. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.